when you go into that, I mean, were you really expecting like I'm gonna be married at the end? Like, did you
No.
really? Okay, because I was gonna say you can't go into it thinking like you got to be a little sort of pessimistic about this process. I imagine.
I to the point I never thought I was gonna find love or get married, to the point where when it actually happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring Brian home. The show is over. Okay, the finale has happened. I'm like, I'm bringing Brian home. My mom's like, are the cameras gonna be here? And I was like, no, I'm taking him to Houston to meet grandma. Why? Are the parents gonna be there? I'm like, this is real. They couldn't get it because when I left Dallas, I said, don't worry, I'm not going to fall in love. They are never going to find someone that I would actually want to spend the rest of my life with. I'm just doing this for the culture. I'm open to it. Was I 100% was open? I just didn't believe that it could actually happen until after that first night. And I started meeting people and having actual conversations when I was like, okay, maybe I could date someone off of this. I didn't think I'd fall in love, but I was like, I could actually date. Maybe, like we could have a future. We could get there. We could get there. And then time and time as time went on, I was just like, wow, like this is the real deal. Maybe it's this person. Maybe it's this person. No, it is this person. So I think being skeptical helped me because I didn't go in thinking I'm going to have myself a husband and I have to have one. I just happened to fall in love. That wasn't even really the goal for me. I was open to it, but didn't really think it could happen. So I was beautifully surprised that at the end of the day, I didn't just fall in love. Like I found a partner in life. Like we got married and we took our time after. We spent 2 years getting to know each other in real life, making sacrifices for one another, moving across the country for each other, leaving jobs and family, and really, immersing ourselves with our circle of friends and building that circle of trust and a strong foundation outside of Bachelor Nation. We didn't let Bachelor Nation define us. We did that ourselves. And I think that has been the key to the success of our relationship.
So it's almost, at least the way you're making it sound, it's almost as if I don't want to sound too dramatic, but it's almost like you got started over after the show.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I think people need to talk about that more because you're trying to live up to the fairy tale. People watch you fall in love in the most magical way that's not real life at all for 10 weeks. And then the bubble bursts immediately. You announce who you chose, everybody hates it. And then you deal with the media questioning your choice. And then they're like, here's your first class ticket to wherever y'all are calling home. And then they're on to the next season. That's it. So you're just kind of like, okay, we got to figure this out. And unfortunately for Bryan and I, we were like, I was 32, he was 37. We had these conversations. We figured out how we were going to bring our lives together at that point. So we were good. But our biggest thing was, let's remove ourselves from this world and not try to live up to people's expectations of trying to fit that fairy tale. Let's try to fit real life. What makes sense for us? How do we work this out? People don't do that. People keep trying to please Bachelor Nation. They keep trying to do these romantic and these dramatic things, doing things on social media. Bryan and I rarely post on social media. That's because so much of our relationship was public that we try to keep it as private as we can.
So what does, or how has your husband handled all of the fallout that you've had to deal with, especially in the last year?
My husband is the most chill person ever. And you got to have that balance, right? Like I'm a little crazy and I'm a lot. And Bryan is like so like scary chill. It makes me nervous at times. But I have seen him get upset. Him on his own podcast, like call out what's been going on because he's been there with me behind closed doors. He's seen the emotion. Most people see the hard exterior of me. Bryan sees me struggle. Bryan sees me question certain things. He sees the doubt. He sees the fear. He sees me getting upset. And he's been nothing but a rock for me, always encouraging me, never tries to dim my light, never says to me, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have said that. Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have done that. If anything, he's my biggest cheerleader because he gets it. And I've never had that in a relationship. I feel like in my prior relationships, men tried to dim my light, try to tell me that's what I can't do, I shouldn't do, try to make me feel bad for having such a big personality or having these big dreams and goals to make themselves feel bigger. That's not Bryan at all. He has been 100% supportive. And I know that I wouldn't have been able to get through this last year if I didn't have Bryan as my rock. Like, he's been completely steady through all of it.
My favorite story that you've ever told about him was that you let him take your wig off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I need a breakdown of how this happened, Rachel. I need a breakdown.
Yeah. Because I don't try to pretend about anything. I'm like, this ain't real, this ain't real. Like, you need to understand, you need to get to know me. Like, right now, I have extensions. I'm gonna need Bryan to cut this weave out of my head pretty soon. That's a new task for him. He hasn't had to do that yet. But when I met Bryan, I was not wearing wigs. So once I decided to go the wig route, I needed to explain it to him. I was like, and you might get questions on this, and I need you to understand. And he's so fascinated by it. Like, I mean, I don't know if that sounds like a good thing to say he's fascinated. It's more of that he's never had to experience it before. So he's interested, I should say, in the way that I change my hair.
Because white girls wear extensions too. Like, that is not, like, extensions
white girls
are not
exactly.
a solely Black woman thing. Like, they wear them too.
Exactly, they do. Yeah. Wigs and extensions. And so when I went to get my wig, I was like, okay, this is new for both of us. So I want you to experience this. Now, this wig is not clipped to my head. Okay, it moves around. Now underneath, I'm looking like Cleo straight from Set It Off. He had seen my hair in like those schoolgirl cornrows ever.
Right.
He had seen pictures from back in the day, but never in person. So I was like, I'm gonna count to 3. I'm gonna let you snatch this off. So you can get, I don't want you to be alarmed. I just want you to have the full effect.
Not snatch.
I did. I have a video somewhere. I swear I do. I gotta find this video. So I recorded it and I just let him do it. And I was like, okay, because I go, and the reason I'm letting you snatch it off, because this is what I'm going to do every night. I'm not going to keep this wig on for you. I'm not going to try to, every night, I'm going to snatch this wig off and this is who you're getting. Okay. Maybe some nights I'm going to need you to grease my scalp. He said, what does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna take you through this. Because that's what I did with other boyfriends that I had, not the wig, but like the extensions, and so it's like, if we're gonna be a part of each other's life, you need to understand this hair culture when it comes to Black women and how I'm gonna change it up. I need you to be accepting of this. And Bryan's just like, okay, like, what do I need to learn next?
Look, progress. This is the dream that Martin Luther King Jr. didn't quite express. Okay, this is the dream.